Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
Mr. Sandman.
All I ever wanted to be was a pro wrestler. So I got to live my life and make people really happy.
The Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels.
Do you think there's anybody better than you were?
I think I was great at what I did, and I think other people were great at what they did as well. Greatness is more a mindset, I think, than anything else.
Mindset, motivation, insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Joining us down the Higginbotham hotline, Dr. Rob Pate joins us here on Three Man Front. Rob, a lot of conversation this week because the Big 12 has cut a deal with Monster Energy Drink where every football team is going to have the sponsor patch of Monster Energy on their jerseys. So a lot of conversation whether the SEC or maybe Alabama or Auburn should go that front. Now, how do you feel about that? Would you like to see a sponsor patch on the Auburn jersey that you wore for 4 years?
I mean, at this point, who cares? You know, I mean, it's a new game, and everybody's doing what they can to produce revenue. I think the craziest thing is there really anything out there that all the SEC teams would agree that we'll all put that on our jersey and be happy with it? Like, I don't think that company exists. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but if there's a revenue stream tied to it and, other teams are doing it and somehow that seems to have an advantage, then it won't be long before SEC and Big Ten are doing the same thing. So I can definitely see that on the horizon.
John Cohen, Auburn's athletic director, Rob, he's being praised for the fundraising efforts, roughly $35 million increase, I think, that annually of where that was and where that is now. How important is that? And just based on folks, you're within the community, you're ingrained there. What are the reviews of Auburn and the faithful, John Cohen, and the job he's done so far?
I would say that I'd say it's mixed. A lot of obviously disappointment with how football went and with how the freeze era was, and that's obviously John Cohen's pick. And then still the not really everybody being on the same page with Stephen Pearl and whether or not Auburn should have done a national search when the striking the iron while it's hot, and so we'll see. I think that the Pearl hire was a good hire, and I think that he'll be fine. But I can definitely understand people that question that and not having somebody with experience. I think the fundraising just speaks to a program that is one, they love Auburn. I mean, everybody affiliated with the school obviously loves it and wants to see it succeed, and you see the desire to put your money where your mouth is and try and get out there and be competitive with the rest of this conference. There's only so much you can do as far as Auburn's alumni base not being as big as some of the other schools, and then also not as wealthy as some of the Texas schools. So it really doesn't. I don't think you ever get up there to where you're top three. But, you still have to be in the ballpark to be able to, if you're serious about trying to win a championship in this era. So I think they've done about as good as you can there.
Rob, as we're talking about other revenue streams for these athletic departments, I know that it was a topic of discussion on this show. A lot of Auburn fans, they were not happy with that first game against Baylor being moved to Atlanta. Do you have a feeling one way or another on that game being moved away from Jordan-Hare?
Yeah, I mean, when you are in Auburn and games in your own stadium, it's definitely a frustrating factor. But at the same time, I mean, listen, it's when it's revenue generating in a way that you're having to use it to fund the athletes and the organizations that pay the athletes to get to campus. You do what you have to do, and you got to think outside of the box. And losing a home game is probably the most brutal way to have to endure that. But you also have to be understanding that if our athletic department thinks that's the best mechanism to earn and that revenue, it's just part of it. I mean, it's I don't like it as a business owner, as somebody that lives here, that played here, that knows how special those moments are. But I'm also not balancing the books, and so I get it. I don't like it, but I get it, and I'm sure other teams will have to do similar things coming up.
Rob Pate, former Auburn defensive back, joining us here on Three Man Front, joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. We're just going over sporting news that came out with their projections, bowl projections. Auburn is not one of the 11 teams that they had projected, but I just wanted to ask you, how will success be measured for Alex Golesh in that first season? And for you as a former player and as a guy that is a constant supporter there in the community, how will you judge it? But ultimately, how will everyone judge Alex Golesh, and how will that be measured?
Well, I think that, he answered this question with having an identity at the end of the season, knowing that he's not entering year two, still wondering what he is and what this program is. He wants that to be hard-nosed football, a team that can run the ball, a team that's successful in the red zone. I think that's what he wants the calling card to be. The general public's going to view it as just wins and losses. And I think that's fair, because that's really all that, what matters most is, did you win? Did you lose? The hard part is that the schedule is so difficult that this could be a really good team that wins 7 games. And, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a memorable season, but that is a program moving in the right direction. I definitely should be a team that goes to a bowl, no doubt. Definitely should be a team that is favored and probably should win every home game. If you pick up some on the road, man, I think that's icing on the cake, and that's something that we need to start doing. But for me, it's winning close games. That's been the issue. All of these games are close. Auburn's best seasons have been teams that have been able to win them, and Auburn's worst seasons have been teams that just don't have the character to be able to get over the hump. And so I'm looking for a program that finally has the grit to be able to win close ones.
That is Rob Pate, joins us every Thursday here on Three Man Front. I assume everyone made it through the 4th of July holiday weekend. Everything went okay?
Man, everybody made it. I tell you, man, between moving and vacation and then 4th of July, I hope we have nothing to do this weekend.
Hey, you're ready to get back to work, right? You're ready to get back to work and get some rest.
Keep slinging that yogurt.
That's right.
Hey, when are y'all going to come try some?
I will be down there for the Hewitt game. I will be down there for the Hewitt game. Remember, I'm
He's staying
at
in your
place.
guest room.
Remember? I'm
Perfect.
staying there.
Let's do it.
All right. I'll be there. Hey, Rob, y'all have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, guys.
Take care.
War Eagle.
That is Rob Pate joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Coming up next hour, we will get a little bit more into this meeting of the minds between Texas Tech and Cody Campbell and Brett Yormark, what that was all about. That's straight ahead on Jocks.
The United States Soccer Federation presents the U.S. Soccer Podcast.
I'm your host, Megan Klingenberg. One thing I promised you is an all-access pass that you wouldn't get on any other show. And we found out that whoever comes on scores a goal. Burhoff, Freeman, Trusty. U.S. Soccer Podcast magic is real, people. We still got plenty of coverage all throughout this World Cup. Okay, let's get into it.
The U.S. Soccer Podcast, presented by Henkel. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.